Oh, hey. What's going on? Um, so recently I saw Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. I was invited to go see it, and, I didn't think really anything much of it because it's just like another movie where they just like sing and dance the whole time. I remember the first one, like people talking about the first one, and then seeing the trailer for this and just thinking, oh, it's just like a dumb sequel to a movie where they sing and dance the whole time. I didn't really think it would be as good as I thought, but not in the sense that it's a good movie, because it's not a very good movie. It's just really unintentionally funny in a lot of different ways. And I'll throw in little things here and there to sort of show what I mean when I'm talking about some things. And I'm going to talk about the movie assuming you've already seen it, because a lot of people that I know have already seen it. And so, yeah, Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, from someone who did not see the first one. The plot of Mamma Mia is very weak. As a friend of mine described it, it's not about the plot, it's about the bangers, right? And I was like, okay, so I went in with the idea that, oh, the plot is not very good. But what I found is that a plot that did not make sense at all. So from what I gathered from the last movie, from the movie I didn't see, is that Amanda Seyfried is a girl who was born on an island off of the mainland of Greece, I guess, and her mom was Meryl Streep's character in the last movie named Donna, and Donna, what you get to see in this movie is how Donna met three different men who all let three different men hit it raw, basically, is what I'll say about that. And she doesn't even know who the father is, because none of them stayed around, I guess. And so, Amanda Single's character is dating this guy named Sky, which we'll talk briefly about later. But he is away learning about the hotel business, because Amanda Single's character, wants to construct the house her mom lived in into a hotel. Basically, her mom's two friends come, and you get to learn a little bit about them. It doesn't matter, right? What we learned about earlier is it doesn't matter. It's about the bangers, really. And basically, the only thing that matters is the songs, which are all ABBA, I guess. I don't really know that much about ABBA other than Dancing Queen, obviously, because that was like one of their only popular songs, and Mamma Mia, because like that's where the name of the movie comes from. I was getting a little bit upset in the middle because I was like, oh, this is a musical where all the songs are the same. I was like, why are all the songs the same in this musical? And it's because they're all ABBA. I didn't even know that. I had to be told later. So the songs, okay. The highlight of the movie. All right, here is what I liked about the movie. The songs are pretty good, right? Most of the singers are pretty good. The songs are all ABBA, which I guess are fine. But it's like I'm pretty sure they constructed the plot around the songs, because later you'll see there's a guy named Fernando, and when Amanda Singlefred's grandmother comes, who's Cher, she sees him and is like, oh, he's my long lost lover, his name's Fernando, and then they sing an ABBA song where like the main character, like the guy in the song's name is Fernando. So it's like little things like that where they sort of tell you that it's all about ABBA, I guess, the songs. I don't know.
Life is short, the world is wide. want to make some memories.
Okay. Life is short and the world is wide is what Lily James' character says in the beginning of this trailer. And you learn that in the beginning of the movie. Lily James is a girl who's very quirky and weird, and she doesn't quite fit into the regular society. And she shows you that by singing a song that's like called like I Kissed a Teacher or something like that at her graduation. And so she decides that she's going to start traveling the world in search for her life, basically. So here's my main problem with the plot of Mamma Mia, is that it's not realistic at all, and they're so like far removed from reality. Like every like choice every character makes, or the whole like the conflict of like in the story is the fact that Lily James meets three different guys and like falls for each one of them, and she doesn't know where to live, I guess. She finds a place to live, right? She finds this island or whatever, and she finds like that it's like, oh, it's like paradise here, where like everybody just drinks and eats and sings songs. And so she decides that she wants to live there, and like it doesn't make sense in the sense of reality, basically. Like it's like she's like, oh, I never want to work, and I never want to try to like make money or support myself in any way, so I'm going to live on this island where I guess everything is free, because she has nobody pays for anything in this movie. One of the things is, so she meets a guy. It's Colin Firth's character. When she's young, Lily James meets like this awkward British guy who's a virgin. And it's so funny because he's a virgin and he's weird. And so he swindles her, but he says, oh, I have to go into business. It's like what my parents and my family have planned for me in life is business. And you see him later doing this deal in Tokyo where he's falling asleep. And so basically the only idea of work that you ever get is Colin Firth's character when he says, when he is like, man, I hate work. Work sucks. It puts me to sleep. And that's the only idea of work, because nobody else works in this society, I guess. Or basically the idea you're supposed to get from work is that it sucks and that you shouldn't work, and that like it nobody wants to do it, and that only like weird people, I guess, work. I don't know. It doesn't really make any sense, because it's like everybody who's cool doesn't work, which like is not real at all. Oh, also there is this part before the young Harry sings like something Waterloo, where he's like swindles Lily James or Donna, whatever, into like basically having sex with him in this restaurant, and where he admits that he's a virgin. So before the song, he admits that he's a virgin and that he wants to have sex so that he's like cool, and Lily James laughs at him for being a virgin, and basically saying that like virgins are weird, I guess. And I found that very unintentionally funny. People were laughing in the theater because of the joke she made. Like she laughed about him being a virgin, and it was like awkward. But I found it very unintentionally funny that she made fun of his virginity, because basically that was like the first idea that you get, that like Donna is like free but also has like a high moral code to her, where but what it comes off as to me is that she's very pretentious, and like there's like multiple times in the movie where she's like a dick to like these guys or like to other people, and she just has like no regard for like anybody's feelings. Oh, also, one of Donna's friends is like this girl who's like short, and her thing is that she eats cake, and it's very overused. It's probably one of the things that people laughed at the most in the whole thing is the fact that one of Donna's friends is this short girl who loves cake, I guess. She loves cake, and when she gets heartbroken, she eats cake. And they made about like 100 jokes about her eating cake, which I thought was very odd, and very not funny by like the 6th time they said it. The old guys that they have, the 3... in the movie, they call them the 3 dads. The 3 dads of Amanda... somebody's character... what's her name? Like Sophie something? I don't know. Wait, what's her name? Yeah, Sophie. Okay. Alright, so, yeah. So, Sophie's 3 dads. The older counterparts is like Colin Firth, kind of like, they're like famous actors, aren't they? Colin Firth, Pierce Brosnan, and Stellan Skarsgård. So, I mean, you've seen them all before, even if you don't know the name. The 3 dads of Sophie are these 3 dudes, and the older counterparts, where you see them young and you see them old. The older ones cannot dance or sing for their lives, basically. I don't know why they chose them.
I wish I could stay here too.
Turns out he's engaged.
That's probably the biggest conflict in the story, and that's what I have a problem with, is that the conflict of the story is that Lily James it's like these 3 guys who are not perfect for her, or something like that. And I'm not saying, like, it's good. I'm not saying, like, him cheating on this girl he's engaged with Lily James is, like, a good thing, but, like, he literally said earlier when he first met her is that he, like, wanted to leave this all behind. He wanted to leave his life behind for a while, and, like, she's still upset that he's, like, engaged or whatever. These 2 who are in love, Sophie and Sky, they have no chemistry on screen at all. Mainly because they're apart for about 90% of the entire movie, which, good for the people who made Mamma Mia, because the guy who plays Sky cannot act or sing if he wanted to. I'm not saying I could do it better. I'm just saying I don't know why they chose him. He's, like, attractive, I guess, but he can't sing. He sings one song about him being apart from Sophie's character, and every note is really short. It's very short and very monotone. He has no register to his voice, which I think is just so weird, because the whole movie is them singing. You know what I mean? Almost the entirety of the movie he spends away from her, and the one thing he sings with, like, short notes, and he can't act. There's, like, no emotion in his face at all. I don't know why they chose him. Like, should I have, like, Ansel Elgort be in it or something? I don't know. He's a better singer.
Yeah, and I told Harry. I told many, many people.
Okay, so here's the thing I'll get into about the dads. So it's Bill, Harry, and Sam. Is that his name? I don't remember him. Okay. And they're Sophie's 3 dads, okay? Now, you might be thinking, if you haven't seen the first one, how does she have 3 dads? Is she, like, a clone or something? Did they make her in a lab where they combined the 3 semination samples of these 3 men? No, not at all. Basically, like I said, Lily James' character let these 3 dudes, when they were, like, 25, knock her up, basically. Like, days after each other, basically. Like, it was Harry, and then, like, a couple days later, Sam, and then a couple days later, Bill, basically. So she doesn't even know who the father is, right? And she's okay with that. She says, oh, I don't want to know who the father is, right? I don't want to know who the father is of my only child. And Sophie's okay with that too. She says, I don't even care. She says, oh, it takes like 3 men to raise a girl, or me. And so here's the biggest thing. These 3 guys are completely fine with it too. They're completely fine with not knowing, even though there's like a 1/3 chance of them being the father of this kid, right? So there's no reality in the conflict, like any conflict in the story, right? Because there really isn't any conflict in the story besides like a character every now and then being like, I didn't like that you did that. But the other major thing that distracts from the reality of this story is that these 3 guys became friends after knowingly having had sex in the same sort of like times, like in the same couple days as each other with the same girl. Like 3 dudes, like if 3 dudes knowingly had sex with like one girl and that girl had a kid, like these guys would kill each other. Like they would be fighting all the time. But no, they're friends. They're friends, and they really get along, and they accept that they're all the father. Some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Let's get the party started.
Grandma, you weren't invited.
Oh my god. How old is Cher? Cher 72? What? She's the same age as Donald Trump. What? God, Cher got so much work done. Cher literally looks like a Who from Whoville. It's unbelievable. Her nose is so small. Okay, so I don't know why I'm laughing, but this is just funny to me. This was funny to me. So at the end of the movie, like I said, I don't care about spoilers. I'm just assuming you've seen it. Sophie like goes up the hill to like baptize her kid, the new baby that she has, and she walks into the cathedral. She sees her mom, Donna, Meryl Streep's character, just standing there by the thing, and I guess so. The indication that we get is that it's like she is seeing her mom there with her. I guess as like a hallucination, I guess, because nobody else can see it but her. But everybody else in the shots where Meryl Streep and Sophie or Donna and Sophie are singing together, there are people looking at them singing together. You can see it. It's not hard to see. It's not like they really blur the background that much. It's the funny part. It was not the movie. The movie wasn't funny at all. I didn't laugh because of the movie. It was the fact that the theater I was in, which was like filled with basically just women, age 40 plus, and like they were like sobbing. Basically, they were like sobbing during this part, and there was nothing jerking about it all. And so I was like giggling to myself in the theater because there were like these people behind me who were just like, they were like, like when Donna's character was like saying goodbye to Sophie, and then what made me laugh even more is that they did it in the movie there. They did like a fade. They did like a dip to white sort of situation, and then they did like this ending number where like Cher was singing. It's like they had to give more screen time to Cher, even though they just had this moment of like like really like heartfelt like emotion where she was like seeing her mom, and then they immediately jump from that to Cher doing her thing where she was like singing. Let's see if there's another one.
All those years ago.
You're pregnant.
Yeah.
You see that? Do you see that? I'm gonna go back for you in case you didn't see that from what I was saying about Sky.
You're pregnant.
Yeah, I am.
You're pregnant.
You're pregnant. That was so stupid. You're pregnant?
I am.
That's so dumb.
Tonight, it's a night for celebration.
Come on, let's get this show on the road.
Tonight's a night of celebration. Let's not work, because working, that's stupid. This guy right here, this guy who's like stamping their passports, he is literally the funniest person in this whole movie. If you don't like, if you're going to see this movie, just focus on his performance. It's the funniest, like, unintentionally and intentionally funniest performance in this whole movie.
It takes 3 great men to create such a woman.
Takes 3 gay men to create such a woman. They literally want to rip each other apart on the inside. You don't see it. That's another movie in itself.
I never.
Oh, look, she's eating cake.
My soulmate may actually be carbs. Then mine must be wine.
You would not believe how many people laughed at that joke. The cake girl, she says, I think my soulmate is carbs. And the other girl says, well, then mine must be wine. No. One thing I will say, though, is that probably, aside from some interesting like shots that they got where it was, you know, it's just like just something interesting to look at while they were doing their like dance numbers or whatever, they had pretty good like transitions. There were like transitions that I saw that I like didn't expect, and it seemed like it got more lazy like as the film went on. It seems like they gave up after a while, but it seems like in the beginning they had some good ideas for some transitions. Like there was like a scene where Lily James was walking with Harry in this park, and then it did this transition where it changed from like a painting, and then they were like the painting was then in a restaurant, and like I thought that was cool. But other than that, which kind of sucks that that's like the best part of the movie, which is like, but like who the fuck cares? Like, you know, like it doesn't matter what I think because it's like a cult classic, you know. So in conclusion, just a funny movie. Nothing great about it actually, and you know, my opinion doesn't matter. If you wanna sit for 2 hours, it's pretty much a 2-hour movie, I think, and just listen to all ABBA songs, separated by a little bit of dialogue and no conflict. Then yeah, this is the movie for you. Should I end on something Mamma Mia related, or no? I'll just put in something that I thought was stupid.
Great grandmother. I'm leaving that out of the bio.